Hey, everybody, and welcome to Kicker Rocks Podcast, 2 Drink Minimum. This is episode number 23, and in this one, we're changing things up. We're not talking about horror movies this time. We're talking about our favorite Halloween moments. So, we do a little bit from the past, we do a little bit from the present. What's your favorite Halloween moment? Let us know after you listen to this podcast. So, have a drink with us, sit back, relax, and enjoy. All right, cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
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 Clank, clank, clank. It is
There we go.
lovely evening in mid-October, and thank you for tuning in to 2 Drink Minimum. Today we're talking about our favorite Halloween memories. So, thank you for joining us. I'm Bill.
Joe. Tony.
Sergio.
James.
Always with it. James.
Should we all
Because
start
everyone calls
using-
you James.
Should we just start using our full names?
I guess. I don't know.
Joseph,
No.
William, Anthony, and Sergio.
Sergio's still Sergio, I guess. Yeah.
Sergineus.
But today it's we got a lovely evening here where we're talking about our favorite Halloween memories, I guess, from from when we were wee Kicker Rock Sprouts to the
Kick Rock Sprouts.
the full-grown trees we are today, the solid oaks we are today.
wee pebbles back then.
Right. So
I already hate this.
whatever memory we can go around more than once, but whatever memory jumps out at you as far as your favorite Halloween moment or memory that you can put together. What do you guys think? Who's got one to just jump out at? Me? All right, I'll go. So this one is actually, because we're going to go, hopefully we'll go around twice, because the second one's going to be maybe on the more funnier, how you know Bill today's side of things. But this one's, if you can imagine, a wee Bill.
A wee sprout of a bill?
A wee sprout of a Bill. About 7 or 8 years old.
Oh.
Young Bill. Yes. We're talking about first grade. And what did young Bill want to be? A cowboy. More than anything, a cowboy. What does 34-year-old Bill want to be? A cowboy. Same answer to this day. But
They chase around a circle.
when I was 7, that dream came true because Halloween came around and I had the perfect cowboy costume. I had the hat, I had a scarf, I had the vest, the boots, the jeans, everything. I had the holsters for the gun, but what did I not have, guys? The guns. Did not have the guns. Nothing, right?
I'm Gunless Bill from Appaloosa.
I was Gunless Bill. And Gunless Bill pouted for the whole month of October, probably. And on Halloween, my dad, I opened up, he got a gift for me. Wasn't my birthday, wasn't Christmas, right? Right on Halloween. Opened it up, boom. 2
Real guns.
silver 2 9mm, no, two silver 6-shooter cap guns.
With
All
the,
right, remember
the
cap
paper,
guns?
The paper,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We've
The
had
best.
plenty of fun with cap guns as adults.
I
True.
went.
Let's go get some now.
They're amazing. I went nuts. I was firing them off. You could smell the smoke, right?
Yeah.
They'd fire off. It was the best. The costume was complete with that. The only problem was that particular Halloween happened to downpour. So I had 2 younger brothers at the time who there's no way they're going out there in the rain, right? And so therefore, I wasn't going out there in the rain. I was still too young to go trick-or-treating on my own type thing or whatever, right? So what makes this the best Halloween outside of the cap guns, because I played with those cap guns till probably Christmas. Those were the best. Yeah. Well, I still have them. But that's beside the point. But so we couldn't trick-or-treat. My mom, I never forget this, my mom actually had us trick-or-treat around the house. She went into the different rooms, closed the doors, and made us knock on the doors. So we'd be
Oh, that's
knocking on
awesome.
like the bedroom door, the bathroom door. She'd be behind there
Nice.
with a big bowl of candy. We'd say trick or treat. So even though it was pouring down rain, we couldn't go around the neighborhood. We still got to trick or treat inside our house Best Halloween memory for me, I can remember. I was a cowboy. I had cap guns. I still got the trick or treat. As a kid, what more do you need?
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, that's.
I was walking around like I'm your Huckleberry. Say when. Say when. That was probably before that Tombstone came out, but still.
well before. But,
I'm sure
yeah.
well before, yeah.
But go ahead.
No, that makes sense why you, like, we were all like 7. Wow, good for you for remembering that far, but
Right.
now I get it.
Now you get.
Now I get it.
Now you get why I'm still so
That was,
childish.
as you put it earlier, it would be an awe-inducing story.
Yes, yeah, that's one of those.
Like
Aw,
that.
I know. If we go around a second time, the next one I have is more of a. Oh yeah, well he's a drunk. There's more of those. There's more of those stories. So yeah, I guess I didn't turn out as well, but at that point I was a damn cute cowboy. So, Cowboy Billy Bob. But anyway, who's up next? Who could top that one? You can't.
No topping, but I'm just going to chime in. Just because when one of the memories that I have as a kid from Halloween was my sister's tried to reproduce this. She tries to have Halloween parties now and invites people over and everyone gets dressed up. But I can remember my parents having like the best Halloween parties when I was a kid growing up. And everybody in the neighborhood would come over and dress up. My aunts and uncles and everybody who lived, a little further away would come over. And it was just like the best time and the best parties ever. And like growing up, I thought like my parents are so cool. They're so cool. They're so cool. And I could never recreate that as an adult. And I don't know if my parents were that cool or if, just as a kid, everything's so much better. Everything's so much enjoyable. Like I can remember, the costumes were just awesome. Everything was homemade. There wasn't Amazon. There wasn't, I can order this and I can be this, I can be this. Everybody made their own thing. And like the only time I can really remember all of it is when you look back through the photo albums and you see like somebody was a bag of jelly beans and it was just a clear plastic garbage bag with a bunch of balloons in it. But when I was a kid, it was like, this is the best costume I've ever seen in my life.
And
like,
the amount of effort
they're a bag of jelly
that went
beans.
into it, yeah, huge.
Crazy,
Awesome.
crazy. So that's like one of those things when I think about like when you guys mentioned this podcast and like favorite Halloween or best Halloween experience. It's like you try to think back, and when you're older, it's a lot of bar scenes and house parties. And I thought back to when I was a kid, like. Can't remember when I trick-or-treated for the first time. I don't remember a lot of trick-or-treating experiences, but I remember the house parties that my parents would have where it was like this big to-do and like, I can't remember if it was 2 different parties or what, but my mom and dad did a lot of the murder mystery parties as well where and it seemed like that was Halloween because everyone was dressed up, so I'm not sure if it was 2 different occasions or the same, but like people would come over to the house.
Would they put on a show?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
That's
You'd you'd get an envelope. The envelope had who your character was. And this was before this was like a thing that you can order and buy.
Yeah, this is like real life Clue.
My
right
mom
now.
was handwriting everybody's backstories
No
and giving it to them.
Nice.
And they'd show up to the house. This is your backstory.
I wanna
this is
do
what
that
you got.
now.
Actually, no,
That's
they got
fun.
it ahead of time.
We should do that.
Because they'd have to come in character. So they'd have to like dress for the part. So
That's
like
really cool.
And that was really cool. So like that's one of those things that I remember as a little kid, just like you don't appreciate it till you get older. It was cool as a kid, but then you think back and appreciate it and you're like, oh my God, like a lot of work went into that. And that was like a really cool experience for them. But for me as a kid, like I liked it too. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, I'd say that's probably, my best Halloween memory.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's.
Well, I had to go aw because you went aw.
I know.
Aww.
I think we all might go, maybe, and then we'll get into the
Not everyone has
what
aw.
Halloween's like now.
I don't have.
No one has. You don't have an awe. What do you
I'm
have?
with Tony on that. Like, I don't have the memory of any particular Halloween from when I was younger.
Alright.
I have one that I'll get to in a moment. I do have a lot of the party situation. Like Tony and Sergio both can attest to this. Like we used to have some of the best Halloween parties with the Calzarettas at their house with all the theme parties and stuff like that. Even though Sergio never dressed up, it was.
I dressed up as a sexy French maid one year for one of those.
Yeah,
That's right.
You sure did, and that's my most terrifying Halloween memory.
Because everything was clean at the end of the night.
No,
No.
because you should see him dressed as a French maid.
Oh, you were a terrible maid.
Extra dirty.
I might have to post a picture of it with this podcast.
Right.
That might happen, folks.
Grown man.
But no, we had all those parties. Those parties were always a great time. Like one year he was the French maid, I was a Ken doll. Like I was literally
Ah.
in a flesh colored
Did
you do to
unicard.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the kind of parties we're talking about. There, it was funny. It was crazy.
So,
It
like,
was a
in
good
other words,
time.
like a Friday night for you.
Well, not anymore. You stopped going out.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we rolled from there into like the blackout parties at Baracos. Always, again, a good time. It was at one of those parties I had what I think has been my greatest costume ever. Tony, do you recall what my
don't.
best costume was? The most
Interesting man in the world.
Oh yeah, that was a solid costume, Joe.
I did good on that one, so that would
good.
be my favorite. Now, as far as
It was a suit and white stuff
But
on
it
your
looked-
beard.
Yeah,
But
but
it
if you
looked
dye
really
if you
good.
dye his hair gray, you look exactly like
it
him.
looked good.
So it would work. It would work.
So I always loved that one because I actually had a successful costume.
Did you drink Dos Equis that night? Or?
I did.
All
I
right,
actually
good.
did drink
Very
Dos
good.
Equis that night too.
God,
I would
must
hope
have
so.
had a hangover.
You stayed
All
tripping.
his
the idea- that
friends
was the idea
stayed
behind-
thirsty.
That was the idea behind the blackout party, Sergio, was to have a hangover. The idea was to black out.
Fair enough.
We
Fair
did
enough.
7 of those?
Yeah.
7? Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Great,
Dude, we used to
great
drink
memories.
so
Or what
hard.
we do remember of those anyway. And then my one memory that I think of from being like young on Halloween actually was 1994. The Bears played the Packers on Monday Night Football, and we had that torrential downpour storm. And I doubt that any of you guys remember it, not only because you don't watch football much, except for maybe Bill, but because you just didn't pay attention back then. But what stood out to me, what I remembered was I remember like hanging out with my friends, and at the time I had just moved kind of further away. They all had still lived in hometown. I lived in Oak Lawn, probably about 1.5 miles, 2 miles away. So I'd always ride my bike to go out, and we went and did did the typical teenager Halloween thing,
Sure.
goofing off and whatever. And then this massive storm hit, and I'm on my had to ride my bike home in this massive storm that affected the Bears game. But I only remember it because of the storm. It's not because it was a good memory. It's just a memory that I have because it was probably the wettest.
Yeah, I was gonna
ever
say that
got
was the
in
best
my
Halloween.
life.
No, all right.
No, it was not like what I'm saying. That's one of the few.
But that's what you remember. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I just has always stood out to me like, God damn, that Halloween and Bears Packers and the storm and the yeah, I remember that along with my faded memories of parties.
Well, there you go.
Thank God for pictures at those parties,
Oh,
Right.
or not,
or not.
But yeah,
Nice. Very good. Well, yeah. I mean, so they're not all gonna be awe, I guess.
but no, I wanted to kill the
You
awe
wanted to kill the awe right away.
right away.
That's good.
I don't know
That's
if
good.
the
I
other
love
two
it.
have awes, but at
was
least,
awe.
at least we broke it up.
Awful.
We're going quick. We're definitely going around twice. My second one's not an off for sure. But go ahead. Serge, you're up.
All right. Yeah.
Tell them,
as-
Sergio, about your childhood
Oh,
memories.
little Sergio, tell us about your Halloween.
I would like
Can
to
I
hear
go
about
out
the
and
last
get
time Sergio wore a
candy?
costume. That's what I want to hear.
Yeah, have you ever worn a costume?
Yeah,
Let's
when
start
I was,
there.
When I was a little kid, when you're supposed to wear a costume.
So for our listeners out there, as long as I've known Sergio, and that's been a very long time, he's never dressed up for Halloween. Ever. In all the years I've known him. So
Well,
okay.
gents,
Go ahead,
I think
Sergio.
it's time to open up to you guys and tell you why I don't wear costumes.
Oh my,
And,
this is good.
I'm genuinely
Yeah.
intrigued right
I'm
now.
like, I
Is
mean,
this the
it's-
real story of why you don't wear costumes anymore?
No, it's like it's if when we started thinking about this topic, it's kind of like why I'm like, oh, maybe this is why, but like this is just a guess because as I go back,
I will get up and leave the room.
So
Yeah,
there
but-
was this
but
girl.
this is-
think about a girl.
no.
Are you about to get real with us right now?
about
Is
to
there
get
a
real.
dark reason why you don't wear costumes?
No, it's definitely not an awe.
Arrested Development. That's why you never wear costumes.
No, there's nothing deep or profound about any of this. It's literally just like, okay, so I remember being like a little kid and always like, so my parents would not really go out and like buy, like we didn't really like, they wouldn't spend money at like Kmart for the good plastic shitty costumes. My mom would try to make them.
It's the
So
best.
I grew up, so my mom would make one. But then when I got to like my, like 7, 8, 9, where it's like, no, I want to do this on my own, I always made shitty, like all my costumes never worked out. Like I remember wanting to be a Ghostbuster Like no joke. Like I really like remember like fucking Stranger Things where it's like
Yeah.
I remember sitting
That
on my
hit
couch.
home. That
yeah,
episode
that hit home
Yeah,
because
we
like
talked about that.
Oh, they
Yeah.
had the good ones that you bought at the store and it looked awesome. No, my Ghostbuster outfit. I remember like I had this like wheelbarrow that I was like when I was little, so it was like small that I could like. I took off the legs and the handles and I drilled holes in it and put a strap on it to try to make it look like a backpack thing, and it looked like shit. So that
He looked more
That-
like a Ninja Turtle.
so
Did you look like a little Sergio Turtle walking
so
around?
that costume turned out like shit. I remember wanting to be Batman, and all I had was this like Batman flag and some black clothes. So like I put that on, and I used this Batman flag as a cape, and that looked like shit. All my costumes as a little kid, I had grandiose ideas and themes, and they all turned out like shit. So why should I even fucking bother as an adult to try and put together a costume? Because you know what? It's gonna look like shit.
So the reason you don't wear costumes is because you've never had a good costume.
When did you finally
My
stop?
execution of a costume is shit.
So why,
That's
okay,
why.
now that you're an adult and you have money, why don't you get a costume?
No,
Right.
because
Why
I'm
don't
not
you
gonna
be
be
Batman?
Because I'm not
You
gonna
know
be
you
that
wanna be
nerd.
Batman.
I'm not gonna be that nerd that spends $2,000 on a freaking Batman outfit. No,
Yeah.
I'm just
I
gonna
hope
be like, fuck Halloween. I'm not dressing up. But I love Halloween. I love scary movies. I love being scared. I love
right.
all of
What
that.
about one of those little
But I
Phantom of
won't
the
dress
Opera
up.
masks you hold on a stick at like, bourgeois parties and
No.
stuff? Just like, oh, I'm in a costume.
No.
I'm not.
None
Oh,
of
I'm in a
it.
costume.
No.
I'm not.
No.
Not for Serge.
No.
All right.
But when is the last time you tried?
1981.
I mean, does it count the time when I was like 24? I went to a party, but I bought a shirt that said "Fuck you, this is my
No,
costume."
because I was at that party and that
Okay.
does not count.
I mean, it technically says that's
I
his
think it does.
costume.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'd already seen that. No, I saw that years later again when Don wore it too.
I think maybe when I was like 21 or 22, I
this
took
doesn't say
I
fuck you.
wore a guitar to a party
no.
and said I was a guitarist. Like I cheat, I like parties. I'll cheat at. Like I'll just wear something that someone would normally wear, and I just say, "Oh, I'm this."
You used to do something that had to do with
You
our
just
themes.
don't give a shit.
It's
Guys,
a costume like EDM
I feel like
music.
this is kind of like when people like give a kid that never had a good Christmas a good Christmas. Maybe we should give Sergio a good Halloween.
I want to buy you the Batman suit.
No, I want to get him
now.
Robin and piss him off a little bit. But like a really
I was Robin
expensive Robin
twice.
costume.
I love Robin.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's
Why does that make sense?
actually in a
I
weird
don't know what that
way,
means.
in a weird way, profound, Serge.
Yeah, there you
I,
go. So I was profound.
I
I
get
didn't
it
mean
now.
to be.
I get it now.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
You kind of looked like Spielberg a couple weeks ago.
Oh,
That
going on
was
my
basic.
beard?
That was basically a costume.
You got time. You can grow it back out.
Yeah, there you go.
Alright.
Yeah, so that's me. JT,
Oh, what
your
the
memory?
I don't know. This Halloween.
You have plenty.
This is my favorite.
Stop it.
This is my favorite time of year. It is. I love the fall. I love the crispness of the air and all that stuff, and the leaves and the candy and the Halloweens. But as far as Halloweens themselves, I don't know. I don't really remember it all the time. I suppose the best one though, the one that really sticks out at least, was when I was 15, so 1997, sophomore year of high school. I was about to turn 16 in December, but me and a whole bunch of buddies that some of you might now know as the Sigma 7X crew. We were out
Oh god damn it!
and
I know what that means. And you're a
Bill- Bill knows what
huge
that means.
nerd.
Bill knows what
But
that
I
means.
love it. Go on.
I'm not going to name names, so I'm
Nope.
just going to
you
say
don't
that.
have to. But
Some of
I
them
know
are-
who all of you are.
So
All right, go ahead.
One of them's a cop in the town that
Yeah,
I'm
I
about to
know,
tell
yeah.
the story. Like, but we were walking around Oak Lawn. We were just like, at that point in time, we barely wore costumes. It was the point in time where it's like, oh, black Swish Adidas pants, a black hoodie, and maybe a mask is your costume, and a ton of shaving cream and stuff, just like the sketch we did that me and Tony were in. You know, the Halloween Innocence one. You
Yeah.
know. Because there is a truth to that sketch. Like, I don't care for the adult Halloween party thing. It's just like, it's fun. It's like, whatever, hey, here we are. It's getting drunk, but we have costumes on this time. But my favorite Halloween memories are still like the hooligan years. And it's funny because some
Yeah.
people, like, from certain like just like I don't know, certain cities or certain like suburbs and areas, maybe like rural areas too. It's just like they don't really know about Halloween hooliganism. I think it's like a Detroit and Chicago kind of tradition, or at least I don't know. There's like certain places where people really know what it is, and certain places where people don't. Because it's like we've told some friends like, hey, like you know, when you're around 14 through or 13 through 17 or so, like, and you do hooligan shit, and they're
you
like,
terrorize the other.
what are you talking
little
about?
guys.
We're like, you know, fucking, you have shaving cream and
Eggs.
toilet paper
Eggs.
and eggs, and you get in fights and stuff, and they're like, what are you talking about? You did that? And it's just like, what did you guys do? Like drink punch in the basement? Like I don't.
Yeah.
But like anyway, so. Oh my god, like 7 or 8 of us were completely covered in shaving cream, like head to fucking toe. And like we're walking down the street. I remember it was a white Camaro drove by. It's always a Camaro full of douchebags. But like, yeah, that's right. Fuck you, Camaro. I said it. There were 2 cars following it, and they shouted some stuff because back then that's what you did, is, you know, shout out windows at people. You remember all that?
Yeah.
You'd be walking down the street, and it's just like, "Hey, you fuck!" But like, you can never hear what they say because there's only a small window of like, so it's
Audible
like, "Hey, you're
noise."
such a fuck," and it's like, I didn't understand. But anyway, so
He was gonna say fun guy. Yeah, I'm
fun
such a fun guy.
They tried to shout something, and then my buddy, name redacted, whips an egg at the car, splashes all over the thing, and then like we're on foot, you know, and like the 2 cars stop behind him. We all just scatter in directions. We lose the guy who threw the egg, and we were scared for his life. We're like, oh man, what happened? I hope you didn't die or whatever. So apparently he had like spray painted arrows saying "I'm this way" or something, like spray painted, you know,
Shaving cream?
on like the ground. And we're like, what? We caught up with him later. We get to a major intersection, and then the 3 cars pull up, see us again. They all jump out. There's like 15 of them, 8 of us, something like that. And it was ridiculous. And then
They're all years older than you.
I think they're around the same age.
Oh, really?
Yeah, or maybe
Okay.
like slightly older. But they was just like, oh, what's wrong with you? It was my dad's car. He was like almost in tears. Like, he was like trying to be hard, you know, but he had like
my
tears.
God.
So it was like, which one you did that? Which one? It was my dad's car. And he's like shoving us and stuff, you know, and it's like,
It's just egg, dude.
one more shove, it would have turned into
Just
a
Windex that.
giant brawl. But then like the cops showed up and everybody ran again in different directions, and we got in more trouble. And then there was like what is now like the Oaklawn Middle School. Like that used to be like a big field that we just called Gas Tire, because like it used to be something they were called Gas Tire. I don't know if it was a park or
It was
a
a
school.
school.
Was it a performer school?
Yeah.
All right. So everybody called that area Gas Tire, but there was nothing there. It was just a big field. So like 7 or 8 of us are just like walking in that huge field, and like we see a cop in the distance with a light shining around, and it's just like, oh man, there's the police, like that thing's the cops like from before. And then he's like, oh yeah, but you know, they're way over there. And then like we're like, that's gonna be fine. So we're just keep walking, and then he's just like, I see you guys. Hey, you're like, we all dropped on our stomachs and our backs, and we're like laying flat on the ground, and he like drove up on the field like after us, and I don't know, started yelling at us or something. The rest of it's
But you got away.
we did.
All right.
He was like, somebody's been vandalizing the area. Well, it's not us.
There was some guy in a white Camaro. We saw him, officer.
There's like 15 guys in there. Nice.
I don't know. So that sounds like bro talk. Everything I
No,
just
but
said.
it's good. It's good.
Like, so, oh, there were all these dudes, and oh, there was a brawl and stuff. But like, that's what I remember about Halloween mostly. It's just
That's awesome.
the insane.
Well, like, and since you brought that
Junior high,
up,
high
like,
school
I
years.
remember like my high school years. We didn't do any like crazy things, but I just remember for some reason, I remember one year where me and my 2 closest friends, for some reason, we decided to go out and steal all of the political signs off of people's yards,
Yeah.
thinking that that's hilarious, and yet it's just like, well, like that's stupid.
It is funny.
But then like we took them all, and then we didn't know what to do with them, so we left them all in one person's yard. So it's like I
There'll
don't
be
know,
no
like,
voting this Halloween. So saith Sergio.
We used to do that with Christmas decorations, but we just rearranged them in somebody else's yard. You know, we take
That's
them
always.
do it on
That's
the-
actually that's a simple prank, but that's always funny.
yeah.
Because the person that
That's
realizes
awesome.
they get up and they go, "Do we have reindeer, honey? Do we have?" No. It's great.
Did you ever go deer humping?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My parents.
Oh, where you
my
set up
parents'
the
front
reindeer
yard
to-
was the
Yeah.
first one I'd
Oh,
always
wow.
To explain to people who don't get what that is, it's not literal. It's it's like there's the
wood
wooden
cutout
deer,
ones?
the cutout deers in front cutout deer in front of people's houses, like one's standing, one's looking down. So you arrange them in a lascivious position, and humor ensues.
Yeah. Dude, Christmas Eve night at my parents' house, it was hysterical. Everyone walked in the house cracking up. My mom and dad are like, "What's so funny out front?" I'm just like, "Oh, I don't know."
Rudolph's
Better
having
when you
his way
prank
with
your own
Donner.
house
Is what's happening.
because nobody's calling
Right?
the cops on you if you do it to your own house.
Oh, that's great.
So yeah, reindeer is very Halloween.
Should have saved that story.
We got time. Well, we can go back. It's
called a tangent.
Go back to it later.
Host.
It's a good tangent. It's a good tangent. I loved it. I was making a
Host.
joke.
I know.
Let it go. Host. That's not cool. I don't like that at all. Let's. We got time to go one more time around.
Sure.
Let's do it.
I don't know. You're hosting this thing.
You know what? I am the host.
If you call it that.
And hold on. No. And the people know it. The people know it. You know who gives you bread and butter. All right. So
All three people.
we're gonna all three people listening know who. Whatever. It doesn't matter. So. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go round two real quick. We got some time. I think we're actually under 30 minutes. This is a quick round right now. So. All right. So we heard about. Cute 7-year-old wanting to be a cowboy, Bill. We'll fast forward to through the years. Wow, a lot of good Halloweens for sure. I should give a shout out. I'm gonna give a shout out to a couple people. So, my buddy Matt Enright, who had a Halloween party every year growing up. I can remember that through middle school and teenage years for sure, and beyond that. Had a Halloween party every year. His parents had the best Halloween party ever. They'd go all out. Their house was decorated. It was crazy. It was a great time. A lot of good times there. Later on, my buddy Mark Muir had his annual Halloween party, which he still has going on. Actually.
Last
had
one.
some of those.
This is the
Yeah.
last one this year.
You guys ready? Well, allegedly. He's calling it the final chapter, but Friday the 13th also called the movie the final chapter.
They had
and it definitely
6 more
was
chapters.
not. So we'll see. But yeah, he's calling this one the final chapter, so it might be the last one. We don't know. But that's always been a good time as well, and that's what more of I'm alluding to. I guess there was a point in time where, for me, it became like a creative challenge to what am I going to do this year, and I guess it was kind of a thing that I didn't start, but some people started saying, "Oh, Bill stays in character the whole night when he's in costume," and I have no idea why I would ever do such a thing. Why would I make a production out of it? It's totally not me. But apparently, I did that, and it was fun. So there were a couple years in a row where I would come as a different character and stay in that character for Halloween. It was fun. I've remember one where I showed up as Robert Goulet and passed out on the couch. Still holding my drink as Robert Goulet in character. That was a good one. But the one I'm getting at, I guess my second pick, is the night that I won first and second place in a Halloween contest. And that was at one of Mark's parties. It was, I want to say 2004-ish, maybe, right around there. When Pirates of the Caribbean was big, because I went as Captain Jack Sparrow. And
I remember that.
I wound up, you were there, I think you were at that
Yeah, I
one.
was.
I wound up winning first place at that party for best costume. Now, my friend Pat, who was also there, dressed up as well, and he dressed up as Bill Miller. Because apparently I have certain characteristics and tics about me that qualify for a costume. Anyway, he wound up winning second place. So by default,
Bill
I won
Miller.
first and second place at that same party.
That's awesome.
I don't think that feat has ever been accomplished since then.
No.
So that is definitely sticks out as one of my favorite Halloweens ever. And what Pat did was I mean, he nailed it. He was my vote first. He was absolutely hilarious. At the time, I had long sideburns. It was just, he was spot on. He couldn't grow them. He had to draw them on at the time, but it was fine. It was very, very funny. And yeah, like I said, we took first and second place. So on a technicality, I won both. But
Well done.
yeah, that was a good one.
That's outstanding.
I know. So top that. Moving on for your second pick. What now?
Biatch.
I have a awe and I have a wow right now for my stories, guys. What do you got?
Well,
what do you got?
Well, should we just let Bill talk the rest of the time?
I might as well. That's what the people want to hear.
Can you just tell our stories?
Sure. So in 2007, JT, when it
I really don't have a second one that stands out, but when JT was talking about his story of the hooligans, I was never one of the shaving cream egg kids, but they were in the neighborhood, and one of them was my older cousin Mike, who lived a house down from me. And I was smaller growing up. I didn't hit a growth spurt until I was like 16 or so. That's when I started getting my height. But I was really little, so like Mike picked on me a little bit growing up. So I can remember trick-or-treating, just trying to go to the houses on the block. And I knew, because in previous years, Mike and his friends would be running around with shaving cream and eggs and toilet paper and terrorizing us, that he was going to be doing it. So I happened to have a cap gun that year.
Nice.
Mike and his friends cornered me. I pulled the cap gun from my pocket and fired it at them, and they all panicked and freaked out and ran and dropped all their stuff. And it was like this triumphant moment for me and my friends, because we had the eggs and the shaving cream, and we didn't know what to do with it. We all just kind of panicked and ran home after that, because I knew they were going to come back after us. But I guess that's my second pick of my memorable Halloween. I really don't have another one, but that got me thinking about it. Like, I was like,
Lifelong NRA member.
Hey, Tony.
it takes a good guy with a gun to stop
Wow.
the criminals.
Do you know what just happened?
What?
I gave Tony a wow. Now he has an awe and a wow.
That means Joe, you're up.
I got nothing good.
Oh, all right.
Oh, Joe, that was great. Wow.
No, I mean, I was just gonna only one thing I was
Oh,
gonna
wow.
mention actually involved you guys was another party, but it was in more recent years the zombie party
Yes.
at
Good call.
Kathleen Ramirez's house
was a good
where
one.
we got to film
That
our
is a good memory.
zombie apocalypse sketch. Because then the subsequent party after that awesome fun sketch was done was a great party.
Yeah.
I don't remember who even stuck around. I know I was one of the last to leave, but
I did not stick
stuck
around.
you missed
I
a
was
hell of
there.
a party.
It was a good time, but basically we used her
I was-
zombie party as an excuse to shoot a zombie apocalypse sketch.
Yeah, big
Yeah.
shout out
For
to
free. Free
Kathleen
extras. It was
Ramirez.
awesome. It was awesome.
Cat Ram, and about 50 of her friends and our friends for being our extras in that. That was awesome.
So if you guys have ever seen, what was it, Kick Rock Coffee was the name of the sketch?
No, zombie apocalypse. His name
It was just
sketch.
called Zombie Apocalypse, okay.
Yeah.
But it featured Kick Rock Coffee.
Yeah.
Because it
Oh,
wakes,
that's-
so
It
strong it
wakes-
wakes
yeah.
the dead.
That was
Yeah.
right before I joined.
Yeah.
So that was 2012.
Yeah.
I remember I went
That's so
to
long ago.
see the punk band Off.
And
wore my
our work
Nightwing
hasn't
costume
gotten
to the
any
show.
better.
Nice.
But no, but I mean that sketch, that like shoot, all of that, and then the subsequent party that came along with it.
Oh, it was fun.
Awesome Halloween memory for sure.
That is great.
good
So
point.
go back and watch Zombie Apocalypse and just know that we shot that in the middle of a party.
Party.
A
Yeah,
Halloween
everyone,
party that
everyone
was, a
was
zombie
literally partying, and we were
Yeah.
like, all right, guys.
And
we
they
need
were all
everyone
about it.
They
They were.
stopped partying to come be a part
Yeah.
of the shoot.
They were
I know-
all excited.
Come stand
know we had
outside
to-
and be in the cold with us.
Exactly. I know we had to thank them that night, but just again, we were on our early goings at that point too, and like just
No, we were way cooler back then. People thought we were cooler.
Yeah,
back
they
then.
thought we were doing
wanted
stuff,
to be a
right?
part of this.
But thank you to everybody who like took time out of that party to just be in a sketch really quick. That was awesome. It was so cool.
Yeah.
This was also the first time there was
That was the
ever-
most extras we've ever worked with.
ever any kind
Maybe
of,
to this day still.
any kind of, I guess, hint of a male penis in a Kick Rock sketch. thanks to Brownie and his zombie dick.
Yeah.
There you go. Wow. Wow.
Oh my god.
Well, that's
I
an
forgot
Easter
about
egg.
that.
That's an Easter egg.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Find the zombie dick when you watch Zombie Apocalypse.
Oh, God.
Thanks for that, Brownie.
Yeah, right? Well,
But yeah, so that would be my number, my second one here in the go
good
around.
stuff. Good stuff. That's a good good
Yeah.
pull.
Bill, you're looking at me.
You got anything?
I am
Sergio?
looking at you.
Oh man.
What was your
Remember
best
that time
memory?
when I didn't dress up again?
Yeah.
And I,
What was your best memory
No, if
of
you don't have
watching
one,
your
it's fine.
friends dressed up in party?
there you go.
No. Let's go with this. Okay, so like I don't have any like I think back and I have this memory of doing this or feeling this. I don't have that. But I will admit when I took time to help my dad take all of the old 8mm films and VHS tapes and all that stuff and we digitized it. There's actually some cool footage of me. I'm probably like 3, maybe 2, and then seeing my sisters, my 2 older sisters. My 2 older sisters, you know, I remember one video. We're in the downstairs level of my parents' house. My oldest sister is a clown, and my middle sister, she's always wanted. I remember her always wanting long hair, so she used to wear nylons on her head, and she's in a princess dress dancing around. And then I was like a hobo, like just dressed as a hobo. I guess my mom wanted me.
Did you have the knapsack?
Yeah, it's like so. Though it's not like a memory, like I don't physically remember being there, but there's obviously proof that moment happened. I want to believe that I was happy with that costume. I want to believe that I was happy with that
The
costume.
last happy costume.
Yeah, it was probably when I was like 2 or 3 years old as a hobo.
That's because you didn't make the costume
Because
and
I
botch the
didn't-
job.
Yeah, I didn't botch the job. So that's what I'm going with.
No, there
My
is something.
second-
Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's it.
There is something really cool, like going through picture albums, or we didn't have a lot of videotaping growing up or cameras, but like there's always pictures. My dad had like a decent 35mm camera,
Fun images.
and you see the
that are
pictures
captured.
of like costumes throughout the years and what your parents made,
Yeah.
and like it's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah. It's like I don't physically remember being there, but obviously I was there, and it's cool. Like, oh, they captured it, and
Yeah.
and it's digitized, and
Maybe
I
it's
watch it
why
whenever
you
I
don't
want.
like costumes, because your parents forced you to dress up as a hobo.
Hobo and
Papa, can I be a rich man? No,
Thank you.
son.
That's why
You're going to be a hobo.
That's why I
I'm
tapped
getting you
I
ready
was
for the
waiting
real
for
world,
young
son.
Sergio. I was.
I wanted to finish the story, though.
Wait, hobo
I
clown
kinda
was like a
interrupted
big
you just by
costume.
like tapping Bill and like had this grin on my
Yeah.
face, and you actually stopped for a second.
Yeah.
It was all because I was waiting for young Sergio.
Papa, can I be a king? No, young Sergio, you must learn how to be a pauper first. Then you can work your way up to be a king. Your life is like a made-for-TV movie.
I guess it is.
It's just
All right, let's move on.
All right, well, yeah.
JT.
story of Halloween. No, I want to investigate this more, but
Like,
we'll
I'm
do
tearing
it. We'll
up
do it
here.
later. We'll do it later. It's
It's
good.
like
It's
an
good.
episode of Maury Povich or something.
It is.
I'm
It
getting
is right.
emotional.
Like the only thing I took from Halloween was the hollow part. Is what you're saying.
Pretty much.
No?
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
All right.
Yeah,
That's
it was
okay.
a lonely childhood. Let's keep talking about it.
We love you, Sergio. We do.
Yeah, and we're gonna
You
give
have
you a
friends.
great Halloween someday.
I'm gonna make you that Batman costume.
Yeah.
All right.
Please do.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
I don't know if you can see,
like,
The way his eyes looked through the audio.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's a little angry. JT, what do you got to wrap us up here?
Oh, I don't know. It's fun.
Okay.
It just has costumes and something. I was the Joker like 3 times. It was,
That's good. What's your favorite costume that you
How
wore?
many
Here's
times
my
were you
favorite
not-
When you
costume.
did dress up.
All right, here's my favorite costume. I was, man, becoming a woman. I don't know. Hold on. No. Senior year of high school. You know, it was like around the time I was just like really punked out all the time. You know, I had my spiky hair and Dead Kennedy shirt and torn jeans and patches and all that shit.
Yeah, a lot of different
chains,
now.
blah blah blah. Yeah, I totally. The way we evolve, huh? No, but I went as a preppy for Halloween, so it was like I wore like the Abercrombie and Fitch shirt and had khaki pants and like did my hair like nicely, and I showed up to school like that, and it was like I sat down in my first period class, and like somebody like who was like sat near me was just like, "Why the fuck are you dressed up?" Oh, I get it.
And it was all worth it after that.
That's it. Right there.
That was
That's
the
perfect.
payoff.
That's all you wanted. Yep. All right.
But it was like, I remember my friend Pat worked at Freshline Foods with some of like the preppy chicks that were at Richards because he went to Oaklawn, and like he was like, "Hey, your friend JT dressed up as a prep for Halloween," and he's like, "Yeah, so," and he's like, "He was really hot." I was like, "Oh, I've been doing it wrong all these years. Oh, fuck it, I'm stuck now."
Oh, well, you're stuck being hot. What are you gonna do? Well, that's gonna wrap it up. I think twice around is good for this one. That being said, it's about to mid-October now. By the time you guys hear this, it's probably gonna be Halloween or close to Halloween. So, happy Halloween to all 3 people who are listening to this podcast right now. All of our fans out there. Again, thank you so much for listening. We hope you had fun with us. We hope you enjoyed. And that's going to wrap it up. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers. No clank. And as has become tradition, Tony, take us out.
Once again, this has been Kick Rock's podcast, 2 Drink Minimum. Happy Halloween to all the goblins and ghouls. Hope you guys get all the good candy. Don't forget that candy corn's made by the Devil Kid. Chicka chicka bow wow, cow now, bow now, bow now, cow now, bow wow.
Eat all the candy corn.
No!
All right, that's going to do it for Kick Rock's podcast, 2 Drink Minimum. Happy Halloween, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening. Remember, you can download and subscribe to our podcast on iTunes or whatever your preferred podcast medium is. Remember, you can always write into us at podcast@kickrock.com. That's podcast@kickrock.com. Or you can like our Facebook page and comment right on there, and we'll see it. And maybe we'll comment back at you. Who knows? Anyway, this has been 2 Drink Minimum. We've been drinking, thinking, and talking shop. Cheers, everybody.